Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning. So we're doing things a little bit differently today. Let me go. Oh, we're also back to Ecamm. I was not satisfied with the StreamYard streaming quality, and they could not do anything else for me. I was streaming at 1080p, and that's the highest resolution that and clearly it was not 1080p. Like it didn't look like 1080p. So now I never tried it with just a single location stream. I might give them one more shot, but as it stands, we're back to Ecamm Live. I don't even and I haven't used Ecamm Live in like a month or two, so give me a second to figure out where my screens are. Okay, here's comments and reactions. All right, good. Sound is really bad or low. Hold on. Okay. Preview. Main camera. Okay. Options. Ecamm preferences. Audio. Speakers. Oh, I know why. Hang on. We gotta reboot the mixer. Hang on. I don't even know if you guys can still hear me. I can't hear myself anymore. So if you guys can still hear me, the Rode mixer has to reboot, and it takes a minute. So just hang tight. We're off to a fantastic start, though, aren't we? Can you guys still hear me? I know it's bad, but can you still hear me at least? Like a little bit? Anybody? Let me get this. Okay. The one thing about this Rode mixer is it's like rebooting a fucking computer from like 1996. It's like it takes forever to reboot. All right, it's coming back online. Hold on, it's coming back online. Let's see. Can we choose a different audio source now? I got to get back to Ecamm. It might have done it by itself. Let me check. Speakers. Okay. Main stereo. Can you hear now? Are we good? Okay. I'm not using this today because we're doing live. The audio will be a little worse than normal because I'm not going to use this mic. I'm not going to use the SM7B. I don't like things in my face when I'm trying to actually work. So yeah, but at least better than, I think you guys were hearing the built-in speaker on this Mac over here. Okay. Wow. What a start. All right, we got 80 people here, so that's fantastic. There'll just be a little more echo than normal. So here's the thing. There wasn't a lot. I looked in the list of sites to critique. There wasn't anything that really caught my eye or super interested me. I also wanted to just kind of mix things up a little bit, as we often try to do here on WDD Live. And, we have never done live builds before. I do live builds inside the inner circle. I do work sessions with Kevin. Actually, this one's going to be a little bit different than the way that I do it there. There, I just play music and we chill and I just work. We all work together. It's called like co-working with Kevin. It's fantastic. It's fun. This one will be actual, like I'll be explaining things as I go, because the whole goal obviously is to learn. And I might even ask for input from you guys. We are gonna take our time. I might build a little and then come back and look at the chat, and then I might ask questions or answer questions, or we're just gonna chill and work through building a frame today. And literally, I was just like scrambling. I didn't even know, like, this was a last minute idea. I scheduled the stream like 50 minutes ago. Normally, I schedule it like 3 days ahead. And so I didn't even have any like concept of what to build. Like, what were we going to work on? So I was literally on Dribbble. I was looking around. On One Page Love. I couldn't really find anything. I mean, a lot of frames, if it's like standard kind of layout stuff, it's already done. Like, it's already done. We're not going to do that work again. So I'm always looking for like new ideas, new concepts. And then I went back into our frames list of like ideas of things that we might want to do. And I found this set of cards. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me see which screen I am sharing. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, God. Ecamm is like, we have an update for you. No, not now. This would not be a good time. All right. Let me bring this over here. And so I found this. And let me get back to, I want to see Ecamm over here. Okay. And I want to see our chat. Fantastic. Okay. So I think this is what we're going to work on today. It's this, I don't know. Oh, it looks like it's a theme. Okay. Swoop. So somebody on the team had marked these as a potential option. And basically what it is you see as profile cards. But when you hover, we get the name of the person, we get their title, and then we get their social icons. And we also get this darkened overlay back here, and then it all kind of animates in, and then you also see that the person, actually it zooms on the card when we hover. But as always, we check these kinds of things and see like, hey, did they cross their T's? Did they dot their I's? What does the DOM look like? So if we do a little inspection here, and I want to go slow because a lot of people are like, I want to know more about your process of how you build things and like how you think about the different aspects of what you're building and why you do things the way that you do. And so instead of just like, hey, let's build a card and I'll talk you through it and all that, this is how I start. I mean, this is to do the whole process. This is how I start. I look at something. Look at the DOM, right? What did they do right? What did they do wrong? I mean, the first thing that we see right here is we don't even have a grid. We're not using CSS grid here. We're using Flexbox, which creates odd alignment issues because they're doing a margin right of negative 30 pixels on stuff. And it's just, I mean, this is like old school. How do you build a grid with Flexbox? Because we either don't know how to use grid or, I mean, look at this. There's padding bottom on here. Look at this. This is there's no gap in here. They're not using gap. They're using a padding bottom of 30 pixels. I mean, this is like, whoo, man, 2008 called and they want their grid back. And then we just have divs. We just have a bunch of divs. So there's no real semantic HTML here, no unordered list, no list items, no articles, no nothing here. And then we open this up and we've got a bunch of nested stuff. We have an image that's not in a figure tag. We have, we have an empty link. Hey, that's always good. Link with no anchor text is always an added benefit to your cards. And then we check accessibility, we come over here, I click like before the grid. So this should be the first like focusable element. We have no focus styles, zero focus styles whatsoever. I don't have any idea what we're focusing on right now. Ideally what would happen is, see this hover effect? Well, that should be the focus effect too. When somebody focuses on the card, which the whole card needs to be clickable, when somebody focuses on the card, it should have the exact same effect. The exact same things should happen. And that lets the person kind of navigate with the keyboard through these cards exactly the way I'm navigating through the cards with my mouse. The experience should be exactly the same. And then if we get an announcement of these links or these cards, which we can't, I'm not going to do it here on audio. I did it like right before I started the stream. It doesn't announce things properly. I mean, this is it's an example, and you know, I don't necessarily know that this is query loop compatible. It's almost certainly not done with a query loop. If we're going to build one, this is why I'm talking about these things. If we're going to build one for frames, then it's got to have all these things that this example doesn't have. And then we want to think about additional scalability and maintainability, like with the use of probably locally scoped variables. So those of you who did Page Building 101, I mean, we're going to have to put a lot of concepts from Page Building 101 together to build this. But I mean, what do you, is this, can hear you, same low volume. Is there something wrong with the volume? Can everybody hear? Maybe turn your volume up on your, on your speakers. I feel like the volume is as high as it goes. I'm looking at the meter on the mixer and it's suggesting that there's no problems. But let me know. The other thing I want you to let me know. Okay, Nick says volume is fine. So is this an all right frame? Is this a decent frame? Like I found this last minute as an example of like what we can potentially do. And if you like this kind of concept where we build something live, and I also want you to see like, you know, the challenges that are going to arise. I already know there's going to be a challenge, and hopefully we can find a solution for it. See, the thing is when we use like the clickable parent technique and we're thinking about accessibility and we're thinking about things like that, you can't do certain things. Certain things cannot be done without workarounds, or you just have to make concessions. Like for example, we're going to make the heading, the person's name, we're going to make that the link, right? And we're going to make that expand to the entire card to make the entire card clickable. We can't animate the heading when we do that, right? If you're using like transitions to animate headings, that breaks the clickable parent technique. So we either have to find workarounds, which can cause other problems, or we have to make concessions like, okay, we're not going to animate the heading. We'll animate everything except the heading. You'll see as we get, I already know that that's based on past experience that's going to be a challenge. So yeah. Lucas says, I'm specifically interested in the micro interactions of the appear disappear phase. Yeah. Yes. So we see right here, like these, can I draw? Yeah, there you go. These icons all come in at either different speeds or different times, right? So we might need to adjust the duration of each icon as it comes in, or we might delay each icon as it comes in. We'll see. You never know until you get there. And I think a lot of beginners and intermediate, even intermediate developers, sometimes I guess it would be more beginners, probably not even intermediate. Beginners are just like, I have no idea how to do this, so I'm not even gonna try. I encourage you to try. Like I encourage you to get as far as you can. Start with what you know you can do, and then just keep going piece by piece by piece. That's exactly what we're gonna do right now. I don't know everything that we're gonna need to do to build this card, like right from the jump. I have an idea of it, but then you start doing it and some things break or some things cause other problems, and you have to problem solve. It's a process of problem solving. And if you solve enough problems, you can eventually arrive at where you want to arrive. Okay, so I'm at Bricks in our source website for frames. I'm gonna go into the frames here. We are gonna add a new frame. And this is gonna be these are called profile cards and frames. So there's like a person's profile. I should have called them avatar cards. That would have probably been a better thing to do. There's a lot of things, a lot of decisions you make, and then months later you're like, why did I make that decision? That's fucking stupid. And this is one of those cases. It's just, it's an annoying thing that irks me. If you're annoyed by the fact that these are called profile cards, I'm with you. I'm just as annoyed as you are. This is gonna be profile section golf. I always start with the section frame, then we go down to the atomized level of things. All right, so this is gonna be a section over here. I am your author for today. This is gonna be a section, and this is going to be in the template bundle of profile. Okay, we don't have a featured image yet. We're gonna save this as a draft. We're gonna edit with Bricks. Let's see. Question: what does the down arrow under our team do? Nothing on my end. Down arrow under. No, it doesn't do anything. It's just they put it there, I believe, as like a visual cue to like, hey, look down and find our team. But you're right. It's the same icon as drop downs and toggles, and so I don't think a normal person would want to click that because, you know, they're not like us. But we are like, that's usually seen on a toggle or a drop down. I wonder if it does something, and it doesn't. Okay. Could we have another choice for a potential frame? I agree. I think another frame would be good as well. More beneficial if name and job title are visible. I'm not a big fan of hiding information in the first place. Frames, testimonials would be good. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have an idea? What's wrong with this one? You don't want to see this one because the content's hidden. It's hard to make switches last minute, you know? Justin says it's a clean, professional, minimal frame. I love it. This is what's amazing about it. This is what's really fun, especially about building something like frames is, you know, literally any frame, any idea, any concept I could bring up on the page. And 50% of the people are going to be like, fucking build it, let's go. And the other 50% of people are going to be like, I hate that frame, let's do a different frame. So I don't think this is a winnable situation necessarily. So Team Keely says we don't need any more team cards. But then 50% of frames users would be like, I don't have enough team cards to choose from. It's just fun. It's just really, 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 it's really fun. I love unwinnable situations. And the point is, and the point of stuff like this too is if we're doing it for learning, you're going to learn how to do certain things even if you don't want to build this exact thing. It teaches you approaches for other concepts. Okay, we're going to rock and roll with this one. Hey, here's the thing. If you want, let's just do this. If you guys like this concept, if you like this, format for some WDD lives, submit concepts, and then we'll choose from the ones you guys submit. We did this last minute. I picked this last minute. We got to rock and roll with what we got. Can't please all the people all the time. That's right, Carl. That is absolutely right. Okay. I could see some use cases for this. It's a great opportunity to learn some stuff around animation. Crack on, I say. Okay. All right, let's do it then. Let's rock and roll. All right, so I'm going to add a section. And the way that I do it in frames, because, you know, it's, again, we want to cross every T, dot every I. I put classes on everything as I add them typically, just to make sure nothing gets missed. I always go back and review, obviously, but it's just good to kind of have this process. So this is going to be called, it's profile section golf. They all have the FR extensions on them. And then I'm going to name everything here, profile section golf. And then what we want to think about is what we're going to name the grid. This is pretty standard. So this is going to be profile grid golf. And the reason this is not like FR profile section golf double underscore grid or something like that is because this grid could live anywhere in any frame, right? The frames is modular. So you could take this grid of people cards and put it anywhere you want. It doesn't have to live in profile section golf. Okay. So it can't be named as a child of profile section golf. It's its own block essentially. So it's FR profile grid golf. All right, FR profile grid golf. And we're gonna call that this, profile grid golf. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick a card in here. That's gonna be a block. And this is gonna be called profile card golf. This is also its own block because you could use this card anywhere, right? So it's not a child of another block. It is its own block. Even though technically it's a child, it's not seen as a child. FR profile card golf. Okay, so we effectively now we have 3 block elements, all right? Now what we're gonna do is make this a grid. So we're gonna display this as a grid. We're gonna go with grid 3. They use 3 columns, we'll use 3 columns, that's fine. We're gonna do a gap of grid gap for right now. and we will pause there. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can save. Can I easily save these images? I can. Let me bring up downloads. Let me just delete all my downloads. Okay, and then let's save these. You know, I'd love it if they named it something like, can we not name it Amy Walker or something? Like, what is image 86 copyright? Spelled wrong. So we're not gonna know who's who after we save these images. Another fantastic detail. All right, save, and save, and save. Now for us, we use placeholder images, right? So we have this little avatar person. So like if I insert an image right here, go to placeholders, and then we have this dude, right? But the problem is he doesn't really give the full effect, right? So when I develop the frame, I do actually use real images. Then I just swap them out with these blank avatar people. All right, so we are going to go into, let's go to gallery and let's throw these people in here. So downloads, let's just throw all these people in here. Question, why are you using Ecamm and not the other app? Did you already say why? I'm working in the background, sorry. Yes, I already said why. It's because the screen, well, Derek, Derek, you are one of the ones, I believe, that complained about the screen resolution of StreamYard. And now you're like, why isn't he using StreamYard? Yeah, because the resolution wasn't good enough. Okay, let's see. Where do you want to submission of concepts? Good question. Good question. Kevin at geary.co. Kevin at geary.co. Just send them there. I think we actually want more content frames. Okay, Manny, throw me some content frames ideas, and we will tackle that. Do an About Us page. I would love to see your thought process on how to make it more interesting. Well, this is part of an About Us page, right? This is a section that would go on an About Us page. How about creating a visually hidden title, the link, and a visual title that is animated? Yeah, I've thought about that as well. That's an option we can look at for sure. It uses a dummy element, which I try to avoid. Like if at all costs, if we can avoid a dummy element, we should try to avoid a dummy element. But if we can't avoid a dummy element, then maybe, but the thing is if we're visually hiding it, that's already, it may still work. It may still work. We put a span on the text. Yeah, we can try it. We can try it. Okay, let's go. Select an image. Let's throw this person in here. Okay, we're gonna wrap her in a figure tag, and she is going to be, I'm also gonna put a media wrapper in here. So we're gonna wrap, let's actually back up a step. Let's go with if we look at this, actually, yeah, we probably don't need a media wrapper for this at all. Probably do not need a media wrapper. Let's throw that image back in there. All right, this is gonna be FR profile card golf __ media. Okay, and then we'll select image, bring her in, insert. Okay, excellent. The next thing I wanna do is because that overlay is only when you're hovering, and it can be an element that can have its own transition effects and such. I just want that to be a separate overlay element, right? So we're gonna add a div. We're gonna call this overlay. This is gonna be FR feature card golf __ overlay. That's fantastic. Oh, this class already existed in here for some reason. FR feature card golf. Yeah, but there is no card. I checked beforehand. These are classes from something else. Okay, image, nope. Okay, FR feature card golf overlay, delete, sure, save, refresh the builder. Because anytime you delete classes, my experience, you better refresh that builder, my friend. Where did align content start come from? That's not a thing. Okay, FR feature card golf __ overlay, and now nothing should happen to that box. Thank you. Okay, we're back in business. All right, now what we're gonna do is, I know this overlay has to be positioned absolute, right? So immediately we're gonna go to FR profile card golf. We're gonna set the position here to relative. Okay, now we're gonna go to overlay and just an inset of top, right, bottom, left, 0, position absolute. That's gonna make it take up the entire card. And then what we want on this card is a gradient. It's not a normal thing. And now comes the question of, do we immediately go to our CSS box and do it there? Because I want to use locally scoped variables. I think I'm still going to use, at least for now, I'm going to use the overlay area, but we are going to use locally scoped variables, okay? So when you're doing gradients, this is what I tend to do. So I'll come in and again, it's kind of like what I do with pseudo elements. It's like, make it as ugly and obvious as possible. And then it's easier to dial things in, right? So I have like a red and blue gradient. And what we need is, you can kind of see like it's darkest at the bottom. It gets lighter and really should get transparent as it gets to the top. Both colors have transparency, but up here doesn't really need any darkening at all whatsoever. So in our example, the blue is going to be the black area, okay? And the red area is going to be our transparent area. And it's almost like just fine like that. So if I just take our red and I turn it to transparent, you're going to see what we get now. And all I need now is for the blue to be like a black, with transparency. And so we can bring in something like black trans 60. And see, people are always like, why do you need the transparency variables? There's too many. This is why. I mean, if you do things like this constantly, transparencies are like some of the most helpful utilities imaginable, right? The idea that I need to go create manually transparencies for all my colors, I mean, that sounds like a nightmare, right? I love them all there, just from automatic CSS, providing them in a library. Okay, so now what we've achieved is profile card golf with an image, which is wrapped in a figure tag. We have an overlay with a gradient on it, which is fantastic. And now what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna put a wrapper for our content, okay? So I'm gonna add a block, and this is where we're gonna place our content. Now, what I don't know is, are we gonna position our block at the bottom, or are we gonna make the block take up the whole thing and just position our content at the bottom? You could maybe do it both ways. You know, there's a lot of roads that lead to the same place in web design. So we just have to go, well, I don't want it in the overlay. What are you doing, Jack? Okay. All right, let's call this content wrapper. All right, we're gonna say FR profile card golf _ content wrapper. Excellent. And then what I wanna do with this is also position this absolute, okay? So, and I think when you position this absolute now, that answers the question. We are gonna have to make it the full size of the box. Otherwise, our clickable parent link that we're gonna do later is not gonna take up the entire card. All right, so we're gonna go position absolute on this. Same thing that we did more or less with our overlay. And then we're gonna add, let's at least get some content in here now. So we need a heading, we need a little text link. What we're also gonna need to do is test this with a query loop. So we're gonna have to quickly build a little CPT action. We're gonna tackle the social share icons in a moment. We won't even worry about those for right now. All right, so this is gonna be FR profile card golf _ and we're gonna call this heading. And then this is gonna be our title. Okay, that's her title. I'm actually gonna call this name. Let's go edit this heading and call this name. So that's the person's name. That's the person's title. All right, this is all fantastic. So the fact that this now is the full size of the card, we're just gonna use Flexbox to position the content in here. And I'm really hoping this doesn't cause any issues later with stuff when we try to animate it. I don't think it will, but you never know. All right, so padding here is going to be, let's do space M for right now. That's gonna bring that in. We also wanna add a little bit of a row gap here, and I'm gonna go content gap divided by 2. And then on typography, we're gonna go with white. Okay, and is this an H3 heading? H3 heading. Is this a paragraph? Paragraph. Okay. That actually probably doesn't need to be a paragraph. It probably needs to be a span because this isn't actually a paragraph of text. It's just the person's title. Like that. And because that's not a paragraph of text and it's just her title, we're gonna make a little adjustment on this. We're gonna go divided by 4. Okay. Save. See, I can use these calcs to just dial in. It's still a ratio of the main content spacing. But it makes it so easy to just, oh, a little closer, a little closer. I really like the calc technique here. Okay. Profile card overlay, not feature card. Profile card overlay, profile card overlay. What you talking about, Willis? Profile card overlay. Feature card, oh, profile card. Profile card, yes. FR profile card, golf overlay. Okay. Good. Did I do everything else right? Content, yep. Okay, it's just that one. Got it. Okay. Derek says 127 people watching, only 39 likes. That is not a good ratio. You are right, my friend. Derek is 100% correct here. I did notice that you finally updated your Chrome browser. Congrats. I don't even know if I did or not. I don't even know if I did. I can see why Kevin is investing in an auto BIM feature. I could actually use auto BIM right now, but I don't want to bring that extra thing into the mix right now. It's still beta technically, but it is working. It is here, and it's fantastic. Guys. Oh, let me just pause to tell you right now. For those frames users who like to import a frame, right? You know it's got all the frames classes, right? And then you're like, no. I want to create my own classes and copy the styles over to those classes and then get rid of the old frames classes so they're not in my database. I want to keep my classes database nice and clean so that if I ever need to import that frame again, I get a clean version of that frame. If that's your workflow, AutoBIM is going to save your life and you are just going to love it. I mean, you are going to be absolutely ecstatic because you can do that in one click. You can do that in one click. Well, maybe 2 clicks. It might take 2 clicks. Two clicks. Which is way better than the 50 clicks that it probably takes you right now, right? You're gonna love it. It's right around the corner, my friends. It's right, or what's today? What's today? Today, Wednesday? Monday or Tuesday. It'll probably be in your hands, Monday or Tuesday. All right, let's keep going. All right, what are we doing here? Why does my whole screen look dark? Oh, because I've somehow dragged the overlay out of its wrapper here. Okay, I think our content is, oh yeah, there we go. Overlay goes on top of the image. Let's get things in the right order. All right, so we've got name, we've got title, excellent. Now the problem is these things show up. Oh, you know what I'm thinking now? We need to go profile card golf. We're gonna write CSS here to alert people that we're gonna have some CSS here. Okay, root, and we're gonna define some locally scoped variables. Let's go with overlay color. And that was what, black trans 60 or something we used? Okay, then I'm gonna go back to my overlay and we are going to go to color 2 here. And this is gonna be overlay color, all right? And now what this allows people to do, so they don't have to go hunt down, where is the overlay coming from? I wanna change the color of the overlay. They can just do whatever they want. Actually, every color on this site is exactly the same because it's a wireframe site. It's all blacks and whites. So we can't see another color, but obviously I could remove it here, right? Actually, I could just put a normal value in. Let's just put red. Okay, so see, they can just, right here, they can just change how the overlay is working. That's nice and simple. Black trans 60, awesome. Okay, so now what we wanna do is we probably want to, and because this is gonna, have child elements, doing things when you hover the parent element. To me, all the CSS should be in the same place. It should not be spread out across all of the elements. It's like, hey, I want to affect everything possible from like one centralized location, which is the parent element profile card golf. Okay, so let's get the first thing first before we make anything disappear. The question is, can we get her to scale? Can we get her to get bigger when we hover the card? So I'm gonna do a root of hover here. And I'm going to say when we hover the card, because we're on the parent. So when we hover the card, we gotta do something to the child. And this is where a lot of you people asked about the root selector. I just said you people. A lot of you people asked about the root selector and how this helps with some of this stuff in the custom CSS box. So I named her media, right? _media. I don't have to write FR profile card golf out again. I can just put root _media, and that's gonna target her or should target her. And how do you know if it does or doesn't? You do your border check, right? Border 5 pixel solid red. Like, are we targeting her? And clearly we're not. So what's the problem here? FR profile card golf _media. FR profile, oh, well, when we hover, sorry. Okay, so yeah, see, we are. Now when we hover, we get a border on her. Now, do we need a border? No, we don't need a border. What do we need? We need to scale her. And then let's do 1.1. See that? Now you're like, well, that looks janky as hell. And you're right, we're not to where we need to be yet, right? It does look janky as hell. What are the problems that we're running into? One problem is that she pops out of the box, okay? Like, see how there's the border of the box and she pops out of the box. We don't wanna see that. And then she also does it like, like a horror movie, right? It's like, there's no transition, it's just bam, there she is. Okay, so we gotta solve those two problems. How do you solve, let's just do pop quizzes throughout this thing. How do you solve her popping out of the box? Pop quiz, pop quiz. Justin's already got it. Okay, overflow hidden. So right under scale 1.1, we're going with overflow hidden. And now, nope, not on that though. We're hiding overflow on our parent. Okay, so we go to the parent element, overflow hidden, and root profile card golf. Oh, it does help when you put a colon. See this? Now we have no more overflow, okay? Now, who is going to, okay, there we go. Carlo already got it. Good job, Carlo. So now we need to transition. All right, so here's the thing when you're doing these transitions. Then I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna start commenting the CSS, okay? Because a trick. I just discovered this trick. Really good for workflow. See, I have to keep like scrolling. Every time first of all, you're here, right? You're like style. Then even if you're, let's say, usually you're not in the CSS panel. So you gotta like close this, because I can't even freaking see hardly the CSS panel. So I gotta close this, then I gotta open this, then I gotta scroll down, all right? Check this out. So we get this, and we just type CSS, and it brings it right there. It goes to that tab, and it brings it up. I don't even have to scroll down. I've been trying to get this into my workflow lately. I'll tell you what Bricks really needs. Content, style, CSS. We just need a third tab, and when you click the third tab that says CSS, it looks like this. And the CSS box is up higher, right? So we don't have to constantly scroll down. Maybe even the whole damn thing is the CSS box, right? So why is filters here? Anybody know why filters is here in the CSS? I don't want filters here. We don't need filters here. Let's get that out of here. Transition, why is that here? I don't know. Let's get that out of here. If I ask for a CSS box, I want a CSS box, and I want a big one, and I want one that I can, it's not all cramped. This feels so cramped. Give me some more space to do my work. Who's calling me? Okay. All right, so we've got overflow hidden. This is gonna be, we're commenting here. So we're gonna say, this is going to be our media, okay? And then, so I'm targeting root media, and we're gonna put the transition here. You don't put the transition on hover of the item. You set the transition on the base thing, and it's gonna cover the hover and the base, okay? So the forward and back of the transition. So let's do 0.3 seconds ease. We're getting there, aren't we? We're starting to get there. We've got our first effect taken care of, all right? Now, we also have to see what else we're gonna tokenize, right? I typically do things related to the transition because not everybody's comfortable with transitions, okay? So we want transition duration, and this is gonna be 0.3 seconds, and then I just replaced this with a little transition duration, okay? And then this would be the transition function is gonna be, we'll switch this to ease in out. And then I just replaced this with transition function. All right, and we're still got a perfectly working scenario here. Profile card golf, I'm gonna go to border and I'm gonna go to FR card radius. It's gonna bring in whatever your radius is for every single card on the website. Overflow is already set to hidden, so shouldn't have any issues with seeing our border radius. Fantastic. Okay. Anybody have any questions about what we've done so far? Did we lose anybody? And that's, I like doing this live because in trainings, if you're lost, I just got to keep going. I don't even know you're lost. I can't talk to you. I can't see what you have to say. Let's see what the chat says. Janky is a slang term for something run down, of poor quality, or unreliable. Oh, did somebody not know what janky meant? Okay. Also need SaaS support in the brick CSS area. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And I've brought it up before, and I'll just be honest, okay? When I emailed Thomas about it, he didn't seem too excited about doing it. And it kind of left me a little heartbroken, okay? Because I really do want SaaS in here. You know who does have SaaS in the builder? Quickly. Quickly got the components, quickly got the SaaS in the builder, quickly got a lot of things, okay? A lot of things. I'm probably gonna do a video on top 5 page builders of 2023. Just to let you guys know, Oxygen's not number 2 anymore. It's not number 2 anymore. It's number maybe 3, maybe even 4. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting video when it comes out. Overlay should only show on hover. Okay, that's the next thing you want to do. Overlay only show on hover. All right, so we're going to come down here and we're going to say that this is going to be our overlay stuff. All right, and so we are going to do our root. I'm still learning this little keyboard shortcut right here. Root overlay. And we are going to say that this is, we're already positioning it absolute. Let's translate it. Let's translate it. See, I can never remember which axis is which. Let's do 10% because I want to see where it goes. 20%, 30%, 40%. See it? See it leaving the screen? I'm giving you like a frame by frame of what's about to happen. Okay, 60, 70, 80. If we do 100%, it's just going to translate it all the way down. Okay? And then what we need is on hover of the parent element, we're gonna do something. I've run into this a couple times now. There's a little bit of a bug, okay? I hit R tab, and it just writes R. I don't know why. But now I have to write it like a chump. I gotta go root, okay, and that's annoying to type because of the percentages. All right, so root hover, root overlay. Now what are we gonna do, guys? Well, we're gonna translate it back, okay? So how about just 0%, 0%? Look at that. But now it's janky again. How do you make it not janky? How do you unjankyize the things that are transitioning in? Well, you go back to your root overlay and you pop that transition on. Now the question is, do you want that transition to be the same time as the other transition, right? So we could do something like, I'm gonna have to var this. So var transition duration and var transition function, okay? And then I'd probably 0.3 seconds, ease in, out, 0.3 transition duration, transition function, transition duration, transition function. Okay, if you're trying to be too fancy, ease. Okay, ooh, yeah, all right. We don't necessarily want that effect, do we? That might not be the effect that we want. What we may want to do here instead of a translate is just opacity. Is that what they're kind of doing on this one? Is that the effect? Yeah, that's probably just an opacity effect, right? All right, so instead of translate, we're gonna go with, it's the same concept. You go with the opacity of 0, and then here you go with opacity of 1. All right, and then you get that's probably the effect that we want. Okay, now I don't even know if you want, let's see. Yeah, I mean, you could almost bring that in, that overlay in a longer. Now, I don't know if you can calc transition durations. See, there's just some things that I don't think you can. I don't think you can. It would be nice if you could. Like, I bet this will not work. Like, if we take our normal transition duration and multiply it by, I don't even know how that would work, 0.3. I mean, you could just add like 0.3 seconds to it. Does that work? Let's see this. Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay. That's nice. See, that locally scoped variable now just unlocked a whole bunch of power. So we have what basically is like our base transition duration, and we can use that base to do other things for specific elements. I really like that. Really, 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 you could just dial this in however you want it all day. The other thing we're gonna need, I know that we're gonna need this for the social icons, is gonna be transition delay, probably a transition delay. And then we're gonna use that, we're gonna be able to use that calc, it looks like, to be able to stagger our delay. I don't even know if that's gonna help us at all. We'll put a delay of 0.3 seconds on here as a base. We're not gonna use that yet. Maybe it'll come in handy, I don't even know. All right, guys, so now what we need is the heading and the title. The title we can, see, the title I think is just gonna have to appear because we can't translate it. The minute we translate it, we can't use clickable parent. We're gonna see if this looks stupid though. If it looks dumb without the title being animated in, we're gonna animate the opacity of the title, but we're not gonna translate the title. We're gonna translate, I'm sorry, her name. I'm talking about her name. This is the title right here. Let's start with the actual title, okay? So we're gonna come down here and we're gonna say, this is gonna be our content. All right. And we're gonna say root and then title. And we're going to do what we did earlier. We're gonna probably do this 2 ways. We're gonna use opacity and translation, but I'm gonna just start with translation. Okay, so we're gonna translate this. We're gonna translate this 0%, 100%, okay? And it's actually not going off of the card all the way. Let's go 200% on that. And then when we hover over the card, we wanna bring that back. We're also gonna, we already know we gotta put our transition on here. And I'm just gonna steal this line right here so I don't have to write it all again like a chump. Okay, so there's that. Now when we hover the card, we're gonna bring that back, all right? Let's go. Dude, it won't. Oh, when caps lock is on, it breaks it. Look, it works. If caps lock is on, no worky, no worky. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna bring in title. No, this is root, hover, and then you can't do it twice. You can't, the keyboard shortcut does not work twice, apparently. It was on a different element, but it's not working on this card. All right, so let's go with the title. All right, what are we gonna do? We're gonna translate this back to 0, 0. And then that's why you're gonna need to see an opacity because it's not fantastic. I actually wanna take this line. Oh, this also needs transition function. Okay, just making sure we're crossing T's, dotting I's here. Not leaving any lingering nonsense behind. Just trying to dial in a 0.05. Okay, let's go opacity of 0, and then opacity of 1. And it's probably coming from too far away. There we go. It's actually fine now. 100% still works. So now it's got a little bit of an opacity coming in. Okay. Now the question is going to be, what about this heading? Is the heading going to look terrible when it comes in? So we're going to steal this. I think I called it name, right? I didn't call it heading. I called it name. We can't translate it. We can just go opacity 0. And then root on hover. I'll just steal this whole line right here. This is going to be the name. Okay, opacity of 1. And we need a transition on there. Let's go with this. Okay. And this needs to be the full. This actually, we might even need to add to it. No, that should be good. Okay. I'm not sold on it, but we'll see. The question now is, can we get this name to be a link, and can we get clickable parent going? So external URL is a £. We need this entire card to be clickable. I can use the clickable parent class on here. Here's the other challenge that I was using for a card like this. We're gonna make an adjustment. For a card like this, I think it's actually better to use bricks interactions for the is hover state, because then you can actually see what you're working on. The problem now is that once you've hidden things, you can no longer see them to work on them, right? Like they're not there anymore between the two states of hovered and not hovered. Now I can constantly hover over it and see what's going on, but it'll never stay in that state without me hovering. So I can't do anything over here while I'm hovering. So, and I'll do this so that people can, I guess, get more experience with the bricks interactions feature. It's not something you have to do, but it's kind of like a nice to have kind of thing. So let's go to profile card golf. Let's go to interactions. I'm on the class, and I'm gonna stop in a minute and see if what's going on in the chat. So when we mouse enter this, when we mouse enter this element, I want to set an attribute. The attribute is going to be a class. The value is going to be is hover. And I'm going to do that on self, right? And then I'm going to add another one that is on mouse leave. And on mouse leave, I am going to remove the attribute, and the attribute is going to be the class is hover. Okay, and I'm going to do that on self as well. And if we go to the front end, we're going step by step here, right? We see profile card golf here, so I'm going to collapse it. And notice when I mouse enter, we're getting this class is hover. And then when I mouse out, we're losing the class is hover. And so now what I can do is I can get out of interactions. I can go back down here. See, I have to scroll, and I got to scroll like twice. This is no good. So I just type CSS up here and it brings everything into view. All right, so now everything that is using the hover pseudo class can just use a actual physical class is hover. I can bring that in here. I can bring this in here is hover. And I can find this one as well is hover. And that should be all of them. Okay. Is hover, and now is hover. Okay. All right, which one did I miss? Name, is hover, root name, opacity 1, name. Oh, is gover. No, gover does not work nearly as well as hover, as you can see. But now look what I can do. I can statically hover the card. Right? If I just want to constantly see the hover state of the card, I can. And that's actually a good use case for this little box right here. There's not many good use cases for this box, but this is one of them. Okay. All right, so we're good to go here. All right, so now I've got this. We're gonna try to get this clickable parent going without the class. Okay, let's do this here as well. So I've got my overlay, I've got my content, I've got my name. Let's go in here, name, and I should probably do now, if we're gonna have like children comments, here's our content, here's our named content. Okay, and then here's our title content. Again, just trying to stay organized, crossing T's, dotting I's. We're moving very, very, very slow. If you weren't here in the beginning, just so everybody can follow along and nobody's getting lost, we're not trying to race. We're not trying to race through the development here. We're just going step by step, being very methodical, talking through everything. Okay. So I want clickable parent. So what I want to do is I want to take this root, okay, name, but I want the A element that's inside of it. And I want to position that absolute, okay? Name A, let me look here. Let's look back at the DOM. Let's go back and look at the DOM. Name, H3, A, I am a heading, okay. Before we do this, let me grab this. Let me go straight up clickable parent here. I just want to see, I'm fairly certain it's going to break it before we do this. Okay, we've got a whole clickable card, which is fantastic. I want to actually put this to like Google, somewhere that I can actually see. Name, yeah, got to get out of here. Okay, back to here. Let's go to Google. All right, save. And I actually also want to do the focus while we're here. Okay, that's good. Click, goes to Google. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. All right, that delay of the overlay is a little much. Let's go down here and root media overlay plus 0.75. Let's do like 0.35. Okay. Let's take care of our, see, I can't focus on the card. I'm trying to focus on the card with the keyboard, can't do it, okay? So what we're gonna do is root is hover, root media scales. We're gonna steal this line, comma, and add another rule. Root focus, we're going to scale the media. And then basically the same thing here. Okay, root focus on this element. We're going to opacitize the overlay. And then we're gonna come down here again, and we're gonna say root focus, root name, okay, should show up on focus now. And then the title needs to show up on focus. We're gonna focus here. Okay, and let's just go test that out. Okay, oh, you know what we're gonna need now is, and that's clearly having problems, root title, root focus. It might not be those. Hold on, let me think about this. We need to focus the parent first. All right, so root focus within, find the focusable element, outline none, box shadow none. So get rid of focus styles on the children, and then root focus within gets a focus style. Probably should have done this first. We worked a little backwards. Stepping our way through, we want to make sure we can just focus on the box first, okay? Root focus within, we're going to want a box shadow here of 0, 0, 0, 2 pixels, and then action color, which is just going to be black on this website. Save, back. I also need to take off this class is hover. Probably not helping anything. Hey, all right, so we can focus on the card now. That's good. We still have everything working on hover. The question now is, when I focus on the card, why are our children not behaving? Where are the children? Okay, so root, focus, root title. Let's just test something real quick. There it is. Okay, So it's not root focus, it's root focus within. Okay, let's go up here. Focus within, focus within, focus within, focus within, focus within, focus within, focus within. Hey, okay. We actually don't want that fugly box shadow. We want something more along the lines of that, and actually probably just do like black trans 10 or something like that. Let's bring that down. Oh dear. Oh yeah, 40 goes here, 0 goes here. Save. Okay. Much better, right? Much better. Okay. Now the question is, let's go back here. What do we have? What do we have? Features, locations. We got nothing for, oh God, we got meta box on this site. Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay. Let's go add new people. Okay. Let's say people, person, persons, people. Add new persons, people, person. Add new people, person. Slug, people. Okay, labels. Add new, people. Okay, publish. People, add new. Okay, what is her name? Amy Walker. Amy Walker. You're on the team, Amy. You were hired. Said featured image. Publish, back. Metabox. Custom fields. Add new. People. Add field. Text. Title. Okay. Assign this to people. Person, people. Publish. Back to people. Okay, what is your title, Amy? Designer. Okay, update. You know what we also haven't done? We gotta do a little card structure action here, okay? So profile grid golf, before I forget, we are going to change this to an unordered list. We are going to go to padding 0. We are going to change this to an article. Style, this HTML tag, not a link, an article. We're going to wrap this with a block. This is going to be list item. Okay, and we're gonna change that to list item. Save, refresh, DOM check. Okay, we have UL, an unordered list with a list item, with an article. Still focusable, still hoverable, still clickable. Okay, good. Let's keep moving on. Now what we're gonna do is add another person. We're gonna add Natalie Green, who is a project manager. Natalie Green, project manager. Give her a featured image. All right, Natalie, you're hired. David Jones is a web developer. Add new. David Jones, web developer. David, you're hired. Publish. Refresh the builder. Okay, profile section, grid, list item. We want to loop the list item. You don't want to loop the card. You want to loop the list item. We need the thing that needs to repeat to be the loop. The LIs are the loop. Everything in the LI will also loop. Post, we need people. There they are. Profile card golf image. Get rid of the static. Come in with the signal. Signal is featured image. Okay. Content wrapper, name. Get rid of the static. Bring in the signal. Post title. Title. Get rid of it. Title. Archive, site, post title. Where is my title? What did I name it? go all the way down. Metabox. People. Did it not get a name? What happened? It usually names it on its own. Metabox, custom fields, people, title. What is that ID? That's not a... We're going to lose our data now, I bet, because I'm changing that ID. We're going to lose our data, but we're still early on in the process. We don't want, nonsense in here. So David Jones is a web developer. Go back. Natalie Green. She was the project manager, right? Update. Go back. Amy Walker was a designer. Maybe I got those backwards, but it's okay. Okay, David Jones, Natalie Green, Amy Walker. Refresh the builder. Save. Refresh the builder. Now that custom field should be accessible here. Title, dynamic data, title. Hey, there it is. Save, refresh, focus. Hover. He looks too well dressed to be a web dev. Okay. Somebody said refresh permalinks. I think we're all right on permalinks, but doesn't hurt. Okay, what else? Let's go give a chat here. Type CUS into the search box instead of CSS and only the custom CSS. But what? Hold on. Search. But it doesn't. Oh. Thank you for that. Who was that? Shout out to Eon Kennedy. Big shout out. CUS. Why? What's that stand for? Custom CSS. Oh, you're right. Stands for custom CSS. You learn something. This is why we do what we do. This is why we're on WDD Live. You guys, just learning little shortcuts, little tidbits, little golden nuggets. Okay. Guys, we've got, are we done? Did we accomplish our goal? We've got clickable cards. We got focusable cards. We've got proper semantic HTML. Is there anything else that we need to locally scope? Name. Okay. Let me look at something real quick. All right, let me go back to the chat. Change the URL to not Google. Okay, let's do, how about this? Should we add a modal? Oh, I didn't add the social links. Good job, Calisthenics Ireland. What about, because how are we doing on time? We still got time. Let's do the social links and then maybe a modal for like, you click on it. So instead of, and we'd have to do some changing around, we'd have to change that to a button instead of a link. We could bring up their profile in a modal. Why is the data lost when an ID is renamed? That's so bad. I know, I absolutely hate it. It's actually better in Metabox than ACF, I believe, unless ACF fixed this. I haven't actually tested it. In ACF, if you used to change the any part of the custom field, it would lose its data, as far as I remember. But that was a long time ago. So in all fairness, I haven't rechecked that. Metabox, you can change almost anything except the ID of the input, and then it's gone. It does not transfer that to the new ID, and you're right. That's why you want to get everything right before you add too much stuff to the database. Because if you have to go back and change something related to a custom field, you might be in a world of hurt, my friends. Okay, so in our content wrapper, we're going to have a div. And that div is going to be our social links wrapper. We'll just call it social links. Okay? and we got to get out of here. And we got to go FR, profile card golf, double underscore, social. I can just call it social. Let's just call it social. Try to keep these like short, you know? Let's not get too long. Social. All right, and we're gonna add a icon element because this is for frames. I would add an SVG element. So if I was doing this for me, I would add an SVG element. But because it's for frames, we have to use an icon element. We're still gonna use an SVG, but we have to use the icon element. So I'm gonna come in here and click on social. And what I actually wanna do here, see, this is where it gets annoying, right? Profile card golf, we're gonna come down to, let's go cuss. No, we want CSS because we want is hover, okay? So now I can see the entire card all at once. All right, so in social, we're gonna click on the icon and we're gonna say that this is an FR profile card golf double underscore social icon. All right. And then what we want to do is we want to go to the content tab and we want to not use a library. We want to use an SVG and we are going to use Facebook, X, and Instagram. We'll just do Facebook, X, and Instagram. All right, so let's go here. And I'm going to use this Facebook icon. And I'm going to tell you right now, this icon element in Bricks kind of sucks. It's a little trash canny because even though I'm doing this on a class, it's not going to carry any of this information over to the other icons. It treats them all as separate. It's almost like you're styling at the ID level. So what we're forced to do here in a situation like this is go to our CSS tab. Let me write cuss. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to come down here and we're going to say social. Actually, no, we don't need to do this in social. We just need to go up here and make links for this. So we're going to say social icon size, and we're going to do like 1.25 em, and social icon color. We're going to do white for right now. Okay. Now they can behave as if there were classes on them, but the class that I added to the icon is more or less useless on the icon element in Bricks. I've already submitted it as a bug weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I'm hoping it gets fixed very, very soon. Okay, so for here, I gotta come in and the other thing I hate about it, look, there's a color right here and a size right here, but if you open, there's size and color here too. Just sizes and colors everywhere. That we don't actually need because some of them work and some of them don't. Like if I put in a color here, okay, it does work here. It doesn't always work. It depends on the kind of icon you're using. But then I can change it right here. I mean, we can set it in 2 different places. I mean, that's fun. Will the size work here? See, this field totally useless. But if I go here, now it should work. Yep, see, now it works. So I'm gonna put a fill in here and we're gonna go to raw and we're gonna say icon color. And that does not work there, okay? Does it work in our other area? Does it work here? This is so fun. I love playing this game. Oh, it was social icon color, that helps too. Helps if you name it right. Social icon color. Not working there. Is it working here? Works there. See, what a fun game. What a fun game we're playing right here. So we can remove the color from there. And then this is icon size, social icon size. There you go. And now from here, see, now I don't have to play that game, right? Once I have my locally scoped variables, I don't have to play the game anymore. See, now I can just change everything from here and that it affects all of them. And then I can just say, oh, well, we want these to be red, and I can get all red. I can do whatever I want. This is why CSS is much better than builder input fields. Like, much more friendly. It's much more predictable. You know exactly what's going to go on. Okay, usually, most of the time. All right, so now I need another icon. So this is going to be, oh, you know what we need? Well, here's the thing, too. I don't actually like this. These are going to be dummy elements because what I would do is, this is the kind of thing where if I'm tabbing through people's cards, I want to tab from David to Natalie to Amy. I don't want to go David Facebook, David this, David that, David that, David that, David that, now Natalie this, Natalie that. Like, oh my God, so annoying, right? We want to indicate that we're going to give access to social icons, but they're not going to be clickable because the entire card's clickable, right? So the way I would approach this is these are dummy icons that let you know, hey, this person's social info is here. If you just click on the element, you click on him and a modal comes up and now everything is tabbable inside the modal. So it's only like, you only have to tab through people's shit if you want to tab through their shit, right? It was like, I selected that person, I want to tab through his shit. Okay, then that makes sense, right? But if I'm just trying to go from person to person to person, making people tab through everybody's shit, it's not the approach I like. I don't think that's a great approach. So on the card, these are going to be like dummies. And then in the modal, they can actually work. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree? Let me know. Let me know. What do you think? Do you even know what I'm talking about? Have I lost you? Have I lost you? Okay. Question. What spec is your Mac? Your builder is performing much better than mine. This is, I don't know. What is this thing? It's a Mac Studio with the M1 Max chip and 64 gigabytes of memory. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Sylvia says, sounds good. Sounds good on the social icons. All right. So, and we're gonna have to do these differently then. Oh, we only need 3. Okay. All right, so social, let's get out of here. Flex. Okay, wait a minute. Social. Why did that seem to affect other things? Okay, and why was it already in a row? Profile card, golf, social. Okay. Does it have a gap or? No, it doesn't have a gap. All right. Let's go 0.5M on the icon gap. We should probably throw that in as a variable just because people are already going to be changing stuff related to the icons right here. So let's do social icon gap and let's do 0.5M. Now I can come over to social and say this is going to be the social icon gap. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's go test that real quick. 0.25M, 15M. Look at that. I can just dial that in nice and easy. Okay. Now we're going to go to this icon right here and we are going to swap it with Instagram. And then we said X as well, right? I think I have an X icon somewhere. Insert. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay. Now that I'm looking at them, it appears that they need to be a little smaller than they currently are. So I just come here to icon size 1.25M, 1.15M, and just dial that in a little bit. Okay. Why does our Facebook icon look inadequate next to the others? I think the others are like nice and the Facebook's like missing something. All right. We're going to call this Facebook. We're going to call this Instagram. We're going to call this X. Okay. All right. Now, we need to animate this bad boy, right? All right, style. Oh, my kids just got home. Oh, anything could happen now, guys. Anything could happen now. All right. We cannot translate the wrapper. We have to translate the icons themselves. So social icon, and this is gonna call for an nth child situation most likely. We're gonna get ourselves into a little bit of an nth child situation. So we're gonna come down here. By the way, when I'm developing frames by myself and not, I still talk to myself exactly like this. So if anybody was curious, it's just how it goes. All right, so social icons. Okay. All right, so what do we call it? What do we call it? Social icon. That's all we need to know. Social icon. Cuss. There we go. All right. Root. Social icon. Let's just get started. Let's just get started. Okay. Let's translate them a little bit. Translate 0%, 100%. There they go. They actually don't need to go off the screen, right? Because you're not going to see them at all anyway, like when it's not hovered. So we're pretty good. All right. Root is hover. Oh, that time it did it. It did give me the root. The shortcut worked that time. Social icon. So is hover, translate 0%, 0%. Okay. Root is hover, root, social icon, translate 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Let's go take off. Let me give my actual CSS. Okay, that's not on there. Save, front end. I just want to see something. Okay, that's good. So now it just needs the opacity and it needs a transition, and then we're pretty much good to go on that. So hover is, oh, let's do this too. Let's put why can't I select that? There we go. Okay, let's keep everything organized. We need our transition. Let's just grab this. This is actually the situation where we're probably gonna have to transition these separately. Okay, almost certainly. Okay, transition, translate, opacity is 0, and then opacity is 1. Okay, save, refresh. Okay, that gets them all translating in. Now the question is, do you just delay? Do you just delay one? Maybe delay them all a little bit. All right, let's see how we're gonna approach this. So if I have root, social icon, first child, and I say transition delay, 0.2 seconds. Let's just see, and actually let's make it kind of like we do with a red border, make it as ugly as possible, make it as obvious as possible, just to make sure that we're getting the right thing going. See that? See how it's like absolutely obvious that we're affecting something, okay? And I used a transition delay function earlier. I created one for this exact situation that I knew was probably going to be coming. So transition delay. And then I can say, and I'm just gonna make this easy. Let's just do inth child 1, okay? And then I can do 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now they all use the same delay at this point in time. So if I hover, you see how they delay? Okay. So now I want to calc it if possible. Calc is going to be plus 0.2 seconds. It's really 0.1 second. We can change this probably to 0.1 second, 0.1 second. And then this would be 0.2 seconds. So let's steal this, put that there. Oh, I tried to focus it a second ago. What happens here? They just go in. So the timing function of this, we can just remove this timing function. What would that just be? See, I'm not a transition expert. Do you just ease them in? No, that doesn't work either. I'm trying to get them to not, if we want to. I mean, it doesn't actually bother me that they go out the same way that they came in. But we could look at that as a potential thing to fix. I wouldn't even call it fix. Where are the too many brackets? Okay, there we go. It added an extra bracket. Okay, the real question here is, are they too slow? I think they're too slow, right? Okay, so transition delay, point, let's do like 0.25 or something like that. And then this can be 0.002, 0.02. This might zoom through. I don't know. My brain doesn't calculate transitions very well. 0.5, 0.5. 0.05. Just trying to, there we go. That's pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Transition duration 0.3, transition delay 0.5. Maybe if we don't calc this, let me just see what it, if we use our normal transition duration, what's that gonna look like? That's better. That's better. Okay. And I don't even have to worry about we're not gonna link these, we're not gonna do any of that. Okay. Third one needs a longer delay. 1, 2, 3. They're coming in the right order. It looks like to my eyes. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right here. Correct. Just slightly, right? There we go. Is that better? Now, it's not happening on focus, so we need, social icon right here. Grab these, comma, focus within. Root social icon. Now I should get the same effect when I focus. Nice. Okay. Modal time maybe. Still need to add ease in out function variable. I did. Didn't I? I did right here. Transition function on our social icons. So that's done. Okay, let's get to, we got 30 minutes. Let's get to the modal. And guys, it's open questions, okay? I know yeah, see, some people are asking questions. That's fine. I'm trying to go back time to, yeah, my brain is broken now. And answer some questions. But with all info hidden initially, the whole thing looks like a simple gallery. Why would people hover? I think people are naturally going to hover. Well, here's the thing too. We haven't added our intro. So if I go here, my templates, and we say intro, and we decide which one do we want, like I can go, probably alpha is a good one to use. So we'll bring this up into here. Profile section golf is going to get a row gap of container gap. And now if you have this section on a page, right? And so we're basically saying, hey, here's our team, meet our team. Like people are naturally gonna hover over this because, they see photos, are like, can I click it? Can I do something with it? People, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. But yeah, this is a section, so it's gonna have an introduction, good copy, right? It might even say like, hover below to see our information or click a person to read our bio. You can add copy here that can make it even more obvious. Okay. So now we've got our section going. Let's go ahead and add our modal. All right, so we've got a list item. We want this to be our modals inside of our list item. We're gonna use the frames modal for this. There it is right there. And I actually think I have a profile frame, a profile modal. If I template tag modal, show me modals, it's right here. But would that be as fun? Would it be as fun to just cheat? It's kind of cheating if I just like, just use a frame here. But the problem is I don't have another design in mind for a profile modal. And so I would need another design in mind to create one. Let's just use this for now. Sometimes cheating is okay. Let's drop profile modal into this modal, okay? And therefore this modal itself, we can just style it the ID level. So we can just go to clear out the bottom or the padding on the container itself. Width of L can stay there. Close icon. I don't usually like those outside. In fact, I wonder if this, some of those modals, I put my own close button in. I'm wondering if we should do that on this one. Okay, background size, let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's go with top space M, bottom auto. It's fine for right now. Body container with L. We probably should make this modal scrollable with a max height of 90 VH because we don't know how much content is actually going to go inside this modal. I feel like I'm not seeing the correct preview. There we go. I was seeing like extra padding in the modal and stuff. Like Bricks was not keeping up with what we were trying to do here. And now I see the icon, the close icon in the modal as well. It does not need a background color. It needs its own SVG, which is going to be that right there. Okay. And then our height and width. Ooh, that's ginormous. We don't need ginormous close buttons. Okay. A normal close button will do. All right, perfect. Profile modal alpha. How are we going to trigger this? We're going to say profile modal alpha should trigger it. FR profile. No, sorry. Profile card golf. Profile card golf should trigger this bad boy. Close selector is the default. Okay, person's name. Let's get their avatar. Featured image. Hey, there he is. Why are we getting parse error info? Okay, let's just keep moving. Let's ignore that. Let's pretend like that's not happening. Let's go to post title. See, if you ignore it, it just goes away. You just pretend that's not happening and then it figures itself out. Okay, this is going to be the title. People title. There you go. Oh, got your errors again. It's probably because it's MetaBox, honestly. Honestly, probably because it's MetaBox. Okay, so let's go down here to our footer, social icons. I am going to delete this part and maybe use the same icons that we used a minute ago. But then I'm wondering, is that going to be affected by our CSS? Yeah, we probably should not use the same icons. Okay, let's use these. And these already have hidden accessibility text. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. We need to get rid of this font awesome nonsense that's going on. Let's use this Facebook icon. Let's use Instagram icon. Bring in the Instagram icon. That's an SVG. SVG, there you are. Okay. TikTok can go away. YouTube is going to turn into X, right? Yeah, X. Okay, we need our X icon. Get rid of font awesome. Bring in X. Okay, insert. And then our label is going to be follow me on X. Label going to be follow me on Instagram. That's correct. Follow me on Facebook. That is correct. These are all using hidden accessible. Okay, okay. The only thing I want to change is not the color, but I want to go width and height are going to be social icon size. This should still be able to grab that data from our locally scoped variables. Okay. And then we're going to have to do that on this one. Again, the classes don't work here. Height, icon size, icon, icon. I'm activating the class just because, but it doesn't actually do anything. Save. Okay, website Ipsum. Here's some body copy about this dude. Let's go people, open David. Give him a little bio update. Okay. Now we can get rid of this content. Static is post content, right? Post content. Yeah, post content. Is this a... Where's the HTML for this element? Why can't I see what it is? Oh, is it a post content element? It must be a post content element. I don't know. Oh dear. Okay, let's refresh the builder. Okay. All right. I think we're looking good. This X icon is a little aggressive. It looks bigger than the others. It's not from the same icon family, I guess. Icon pack. Golly. I mean, come on, guys. Does it get any easier than this? I don't think it gets any easier. Let's go to modal, style, border, radius, FR, card radius. Bam, bam. Thank you. Okay, let's hide this in the builder for a minute. We have to do one more thing. Can't forget this. Crossing T's, dotting I's. Guys, this cannot be a link anymore. Name. This cannot be a link anymore because we're not navigating anywhere. We're not navigating anywhere. This is ingrain this in your mind. You only use links when you're navigating somewhere. If you're firing an on-page element, it has to go from a link to a button, okay? So, and this complicates the matter. This complicates the matter because we can't make this a button because it's an H3. You know what we have to do? We have to put a button inside the H3. Look at how the A's are structured, right? So if we inspect here, see how the A element, the clickable element is inside of the heading? Flat Monkey says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Flat Monkey. It's actually afternoon for me, but same thing. How to disable remove the default bricks icons. Don't know what that means. What do you mean? Just swap them out with SVGs and it removes them. In addition to Gallery Alpha, are there any other frames with galleries in the works? Yes. Work smart, not hard. Maybe if you add another transition to the isHover class for the social icons and set it to 0, then it just disappear. Not sure. Not cheating. That's what frames is for. It's cheating if we do it on a stream where people are supposed to be learning how to build these things from scratch. Even if it was seen as a gallery, people would hover to zoom the image and then find the lovely surprise also. Okay. We don't have any other questions to answer right now. If you asked a question a while back, ask it again, because I'm not scrolling all the way back through the chat. So just ask it again. Chat's not moving very fast. It's good. We got to fix this situation right here. So we're going from I don't know what, I've never seen this before in my life, this error. Now, I don't even know if Metabox is up to date on this site. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. It's fine on the front end. Okay, we're just gonna work through it. We're gonna power through it. So what I'm thinking we need to do is our name is our heading. We need to wrap this in a div. This is gonna be our, no, sorry, I'm doing this backwards. Dyslexia strikes again. Okay, the name, see, I can't put this inside of the name because it's not technically a container. We need this to be a span. Custom. Span. We need to wrap this in a div, and the div becomes the heading. Okay? And this is gonna be FR profile. Just hang with me. This is the shenanigans. When you're in a page builder, you're not writing HTML. You gotta do crazy shit, okay? FR profile card golf heading, because that's semantically what we're gonna make this. Custom H3. So this thing, this box, but I mean, go back, watch Page Building 101. Everything is a box, right? Heading is a box, everything's a box. You can do whatever you want with your boxes, okay? So this is a heading 3 right here. Inside of the heading 3, we have the span element, which is actually the text of the heading. And then we have the button in here as well, which the name actually goes inside of the button. So FR profile card golf button. Okay, excellent. Let's check the DOM. See what we've done. What have we done? Inspect. Oh, I never made that a button. Okay, button div. I don't know why button's not in that list as like a predetermined thing. This also needs to get a background color of transparent. Transparent. Okay. Save. Name. Okay. Let's check it now. DOM check, inspect. So we have a, yeah, there's your H3, button, span, and then get rid of the A. Okay, add name, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, now check the DOM again. Refresh. You don't want to leave any junk behind. When you make big changes, you got to make sure you don't leave any junk behind. H3, span, that's it. This button is gonna fire our modal. Clickable parent, off of here, onto the button. Excellent, save. Still get a modal, okay? All right, refresh, still get a hand, still get a modal. Focusing now, enter gets me a modal. Enter closes my modal. Like it. Okay. Got to fix that color. We defined our color on name. Is that where we did our typo? No, we did it on the content wrapper. So on name, I want the actual label to be white. And if I wasn't getting errors in the builder, oh, that's not background. White here, save, refresh. There we go. Okay. Nice. Excellente. Okay. Is that it? We can tab through there. We can tab through there. Do we need to do anything else? We got David's, how about David's photo here? Profile modal alpha, header, avatar, layout. No, I want border, radius, top. Okay, so then we just need what? Overflow hidden. Overflow hidden is already on there. Why doesn't the avatar have a border radius? Why don't you have a border radius? Oh, we removed the avatar radius. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Border. Let's just do FR card radius. It'll match the card. Save. Refresh. David's got a border radius. Looking slick, David. Looking slick. Any questions? Change the doc tag to H3. The what tag? Error could be bricks 1.9.1. Let's see what I'm using. Why? Is that a known thing, Derek? Is this happening for other people too? Yeah, I'm on 1.911. Tobias says, why is it a button element? I missed the explanation. So button elements are for firing on-page events. Links are for navigating to other pages. So if you are doing a modal, which is what we're doing here, we're not going to like a page for David. We're firing a modal for David. So it's a button instead of a link. Div tag corrected in the next comment. Change the div tag to H3. Yeah. Yeah, I believe I did. Our DOM should be nice and clean now. So that's the content wrapper. Then we have an H3 and then we have a button. The button has span text in it, which is clickable parent. That's all we should need right there. So we still have our H3, but we also have a button. The button has text. Everything's the right color. Are we done? Did we do everything? Wait, why did our focus style change? Why is our focus style an outline now? Let's go up here to profile card golf. Let's check, because we did change some things. Root focus within focus. Root focus within. Should have this box shadow style. For the avatar radius, I'd calc it down a tad, so a little tighter than the modal radius. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. I think that's a personal preference thing. We need to diagnose this. You know what I think it is? It's the, this is interesting. This is interesting. It's focusing on the items in the modal, even though the modal is not fired. I think, no, it's not. But there's something like, look, I'm gonna tab once. Now I'm gonna tab again, and it does not go to the next thing. It goes there. Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's focusing twice on the card. And I'm wondering if that's because of the modal. And now I'm thinking if we need to fix something in perhaps the JavaScript. Because now I don't even know if I can select the thing that's social, article. Here's the article. This is the modal. You can, what is it? Tab index, is that what it is? I don't think this is gonna work, but I think it's tab index without a dash. I think it's just one word, tab index. No, that didn't do shit. Something is, I think it's something related to the modal. That's gonna have to be investigated. We might need to put in, when the modal is not fired, don't let anything about it be focusable. I think that's what's going on right now. I'm gonna have to ping Waji. On that one. That's why we do this though. We gotta find these edge cases. Let's take out the modal for a second. Put that up here. No. It's still, it happened when we switched to the button. So it does not look like it's related to the modal because the modal is not even in the loop anymore. Let's leave it out of the loop for right now. What else do we got going on in here? If we look at the DOM, I'm gonna select this parent element. It would actually be the L. No, it's profile card golf is catching the clickable parent technique. And let's set this to focus within. See, that works correct. Oh, I remember this. You guys can't see what I'm doing over there. Okay. So if I'm on article card golf, and just a little tip, you guys can check, you can check focus in the inspector, right? Either focus or focus within. So which one gets the extra, what is getting the extra focus? If it's not the LI, right? Look, I'm focusing within. That's doing nothing. Let's turn this off and do this. Focus within, focus, doesn't do jack shit. UL, focus within, doesn't do anything. Okay, so now, okay, hold on, I have an idea. Profile card golf, CSS, focus, root, focus within, focus. Aha. Root, now I gotta think of the DOM structure in my mind. Root, focus within, focus. I'm wondering if I call that button out specifically. So what is that? That's root __ button. If there's a root button with focus, do I need to do that anywhere else? I don't even know now. See, Andrea pinged me and he was like, the button's taking the focus. But it's not supposed to because I'm telling I'm telling any focusable element, look, I'm telling any focusable element in this to have an outline of none and a box shadow of none. Button focus styling. Focusing on the button bricks element. Right, but see this, right? Oh, shit. Oh no, don't do, okay. I gotta refresh the builder. You can't use Command Z in the CSS area. Your shit will blow up to smithereens. Okay, let's go back. Let me make sure my brain is calculating this properly. It doesn't help that I have to constantly fucking scroll down to that box. Okay, up here. This line right here is saying if there is a focusable element within this card, no outline, no box shadow. Focusing on the button element brings element. If you want all the icon and text to disappear at the same time, you can add a transition to the hover focus within states that's different to what we have already. Yep. Okay. Why here, if the button is, if we're using the button's focus, why isn't this erasing it? What am I missing in here? Is root, focus within, root title. Yes, no style, but it's not skipped. Okay, so what you want me to do then is go to the button. Okay, you want me to go to the button. You want me to tab index that away. Is that what you want? Attributes. That's not gonna fix the outline, is it? Maybe it will, maybe it will. Let's go a tab index of -1 on our button. But then nothing, no, that doesn't, that fixes the duplicate focus problem, but it doesn't fix our box shadow. Let's get rid of this tab. All right, let's go back to our CSS then. Focus within, focus. Now in my mind, I'm like, is it? Okay. Root focus within box shadow. This should be styling the card. This should be styling that should be giving this soft box shadow on the whole entire card because there's a focusable element inside of the card. Tab index of 0 is the default tab index, so it wouldn't do anything. Tell me why we're seeing the outline style on the card when we're telling the card to have this style and no style on focusable elements within. That's all we have to figure out right now. We figured that out and we're done. By the way, I can put the frames modal back inside this card. I mean, we're still functional. It's just we're not getting the exact effect that we wanted. We're actually getting both effects now. Okay, maybe this then. Maybe this then. Outline, none. Done? Are we done now? Save. Refresh. No. Outline, none. No, wait, hold on, sorry. Yeah, that should have done that. That should have done that. Just needed important. That's all you need. A little important action. Okay, golly. This is why we build frames, by the way, because people don't want to fucking deal with this shit. Come on now, who wants to deal with this shit? You just want to add the thing and it works and you move on with your life, right? Yeah, important on outline. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, that was my thought too. Popped in my head at the exact same time. I mean, it's like a situation where like, it should be working. Why isn't it working? Well, let's import in it and then see what's going on. Yeah, there's no reason why it has specificity. No reason why that needed important in my mind, but I don't control the CSS gods. So, all right. tab. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. I mean, we can just go in. This is fantastic. I think we're done. I think we're done. If you did not talk to yourself while you work, it would not be as entertaining. Yes, I talk to myself as well, or maybe it's a dyslexia thing. It might be. I mean, yeah, because it helps my brain process. Like when I'm talking myself through, it's like if I just sit there and think, sometimes it doesn't work as well. I've got to send this over to a team person to review. We always have somebody else typically review the frames, unless I've just like studied it for, long time. But if you built it, sometimes you miss a detail or two. So this will be available probably in a couple days. We'll swap this out. We'll get all these faces out of here and put in our normal avatars and such. But yet another frame to add to the library. It's been fun. I don't think we have any time for any other. No, we do. We have 3 minutes. If you have any other questions about anything, we can answer them. Did you find this? Let's just start here. Did you guys find this entertaining / informative / valuable? Is this a good format? Should we do this from time to time? Should we mix in stuff like this? Should I let people suggest different sections and layouts and such? People with frames are so damn lucky. I agree. I still think it's the default ACSS button focus styles on the button causing it. But the thing is those focus styles don't have any specificity and they load first in the style sheet. They don't load last. So Brick should easily be able to override them. That's what I didn't understand. All right, good. People seem to like this format. Okay. All right. That's it for today then, guys. Thank you for being here. I'll be back again next week. Another WDD live. I don't know how often we'll do this format. Maybe we'll do another one. It really depends on if there's any good sites to critique. If there's any decent sites to critique, maybe we'll do a little mix. We'll do a critique. We'll do a little bit of this just to mix it up every now and then. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for the support. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you again very